Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 1st to the 9th of April 2017. We have a lot of retrogrades going on this week, so to break that down, we begin on Monday with Venus going back into Pisces. So Venus has already been retrograde in Aries, but goes back into Pisces on Monday for a second look around. So since early February, we've been all fired up with that sign of Aries and our heart and our passion and our excitement, and where we want to place our energy and revising where we use our energy so that we're creating value. But now we're having a look at going back and checking our emotional state, really looking at the cellular level of things. So we go back into the ocean of emotion that is Pisces, and we can have a look and see where our emotional connection is to what we're putting our energy into. So we may realise that we're working from a place of fear or lack or struggle or limitation. When we go back with the retrograde, we can see if that's true. We can do the weeding of our inner garden. We can grow in emotional maturity. So we're actually being unlimited and creating from that space. So Venus will turn direct on the 15th of April and go back into Aries by the end of April, but for the rest of April we've got a chance to go deep within and have a look at where we are blocked or limited in our emotional body, and where we are not believing in ourselves, where we don't believe in our goals, where we have some sort of resistance, and this is a chance to deprogram that at a cellular level. So that's not the only retrograde, but that one will be very much to do with the heart and the emotions and whether we're integral within ourselves to clear that space so that we can actually radiate our joy and follow our passion more freely when we go back forwards into Aries by the end of the month. So looking at our inner landscape, looking at what we're cultivating, what the tone is inside of us and what our core self resonates with, rather than maybe the mental plans or the stories that have built up that we've been pushing towards, or that we've been believing that we have to act in that way. Deprogramming all of that. Can we make things a bit more simple, and can we align with what we truly love, what we truly want, who we truly are, and make life a little bit more effortless as a result. So Venus retrograding into Pisces, a wonderful ocean to dive back into, to cleanse, to purify, and to create that simple sanctuary and work from that space when we go forwards at the end of the month. By Thursday, Saturn turns retrograde. And Saturn is a very different energy. Saturn turning retrograde again in Sagittarius. So we can inspect now what we've learnt, and we can unlearn. I think that's the energy of this one, how to unlearn. It's a little bit more mental, so we may have picked up some untruths, some perspectives and some beliefs that just aren't serving us, that just are no longer true. So unlearning, can we not know? Because Saturn likes to teach us and Sagittarius likes to know. So for the next 5 months, can we go in and inspect what we're building our world on, the foundations? Are they even true? When was the last time we checked them? And change our perspective, because sometimes the control mind likes to think that it knows, it feels stable, it feels like it's got a hold on the world, and it can be a bit disconcerting to realise that we don't know some things, to double check, to be open-minded enough to have a look at both sides of an issue or walk all the way around an issue and see its validity. Maybe we're just seeing things from a limited perspective. So to expand our perspective, Saturn in Sagittarius retrograde wants us just to kind of put things on hold for a while and do the research, do the investigation, and have a look at all sides of things, to revise, to look again at what it is that we think we know, and to make those changes so that we're stepping forwards after the retrograde period on much more solid ground. So that's Venus retrograde on Monday, back into Pisces, and Saturn retrograde on Thursday in Sagittarius. Those two both working together, saying go inwards. Don't have to be outwards, don't have to be planning, don't have to be active, but take all of that energy inwards and have a look where the real truth and the real changes can take place. Do the inner magic. By the weekend of the 8th and 9th, we then have Mercury going retrograde in Taurus. So another retrograde, that's 3 in a single week. If this week doesn't feel like it's kind of going to plan, then don't worry, because I don't think it's supposed to, and maybe the plan was wrong anyway. So not really a good one for people that like everything, like I say, controlled and orderly and organised and comprehensive, but much more of a week to take stock, to have a look at what happens on the outside and then have a look at what the message is and what needs changing on the inside. That's really the job of any retrograde. But Mercury in Taurus takes us back with our mind to look at our values and our hearts. So Venus is connecting us with that on one level, but the emotional value, and Mercury is going to have a look at our strength, our self-esteem, our value of ourselves, and where the mind is or isn't contributing to that. So we really do by this weekend need to seek calm and peace, to be gentle with ourselves and with others, and to listen to the wisdom of the heart, to give the mind a rest, and to open up to receive the deep transformation that's possible when we just stop and listen, recentering ourselves. So all three of these together, Venus, Saturn and Mercury, then it's very important to keep a curious perspective, really. Can we actually be curious and suspend our need to know? Can we be curious enough to go and look at our cellular responses, to inspect our energy body, to see where that's calling us to put our energy, and to let go of the plan, the narrative, the story, the mental chatter, start to connect with and listen to the bigger part of ourselves. So I don't think this week's going to be particularly easy, but there's a lot to be done there, and it will be worth it in the long run. So 2 of those retrogrades are only for a couple of weeks. The Saturn one will take us through to 5 months. But if we take this week day by day, just do what's asked of us day by day and attend to each one of these separately, then we'll start to see that they are actually working together. It doesn't have to be difficult, but a real call here to look deep within, to not get distracted with what's going on outside, to not project onto others or further enhance any story, plan or narrative, but just to be very gentle, seek simplicity, listen to every other part of your body, listen to the calling, look at your life from a longer timeline, from a sense of purpose, from a sense of contribution, rather than just getting swept up in the very near day-by-day responsibilities and tasks, but more to be within our inner sanctuary, to really get to know ourselves and to know that by doing the inner work, by weeding the garden, just very gently, not getting caught up and distracted, then this will actually have some very simple but very profound benefits as we go through the summer. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to take a look at where this is happening for you, I'm very happy to meet you in person or on Skype, to have a look at your birth chart and to see where you can harness all of these powerful energies. Or if you'd like to learn astrology, I have my membership group, which is a very gentle way to learn over the months and the years, or some online courses where you can study at your own pace and have access to me. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.